Hello, everybody. Grandpa Ralph here, and I use Grandpa Ralph this time because I have a warning for all other grandmas and grandpas out there. This is a scam alert. I want to talk to you about a phone call that I got at 8 o'clock this morning. Sitting in my office, writing something, who knows what I was doing. The house phone rang, and the caller claimed to be my grandson. He used my grandson's name. He sounded like a person who would be about my grandson's age. Now, you need to know that my grandchildren don't call me very often, and I haven't heard from this particular grandson for, I would say, a few years. So I wouldn't necessarily recognize his voice, whether it was or was not him. And when he called me, he sounded very distressed. And I asked him how he was, and he said, the bag exploded in my face. I said, what, were you in an accident? And he said, yeah, I was in an accident. And he was crying, and I said, calm down, tell me what happened. And so he told me what happened. And he said, please don't tell anybody else this. And I said, I can't promise you that. You got to tell me what happened first, and then I'll tell you whether I will tell anybody else this. And he said, well, I got in an accident. He says, I'm in Maryland, and I was at a bachelor's party, and I was driving my friend home, and I was going through an intersection, and I know this lady ran the red light. I know she ran the red light, and I ran into her, and it hurt her really bad, and the police said I was intoxicated, and so they said it was my fault. And I'm in jail, and I can't call mom and dad. I'm just too embarrassed. Now, grandmas and grandpas are kind of, they love their grandchildren with a lot less judgment than mothers and fathers do. So, plus they're older and they're uniquely vulnerable to this kind of story. And of course, what this person wanted was for me to send money that would bail him out of jail. He said, I don't need money for an attorney. They appointed an attorney. I just feel so bad, Grandpa. And I don't know what happened to that lady, and she was pregnant, and I feel so bad. And so, I said, well, that doesn't necessarily make you a bad person, but you're in big trouble, and you've got to let your parents have the first shot at handling this. You can't come to me over your parents. So you have to call your dad or I can't because they only gave me one phone call. And I said, okay, well, just tell me where you are then. Tell me what jail you're in. Where are you? And I will call them, and they will. And about that time, phone hung up. He gave up because he knew that I wasn't going to send the money that he would need to get out of jail. Now, this guy was good. I mean, he was good. I don't know how in the world any scam artist organization, how any organized crime organization, and that's what we're talking about here, is an organized crime organization. I don't know how they connected this name with me and my phone number and managed to use his name to try to scam me. But they did. And the actor was as good as any actor you ever see on TV. I'm telling you, he was. I wish I had a recording. He was that good. But it was a scam. So I called my son, and I called my grandson's father and his mother and told them both about the call I got and said, you need to contact him to see if you can reach him, and if you can't reach him, he may be in a great deal of trouble. But if you can, why, it's just a scam call, and I'd appreciate it if you'd let me know that. It was just a scam call, but it was a really, really convincing scam call. And when I contacted my grandson's mother, she said that another friend of hers had recently gotten almost exactly the same scam call, or the same scam call. The circumstances, the story was exactly the same, and that person sent the person $5,000. It doesn't surprise me. If I were an old vulnerable person who loved their grandchildren just as much as their parents do, but was much less judgmental of them, who knows? Uh, would you be vulnerable to this or not? I don't know. But if you are a grandparent, you're likely to get this phone call. And I mean, if you are a grandparent, you're likely to get this phone call, and you're going to be amazed at just how good they are at trying to scam you. But know in advance that it is a scam. Don't send them any money. Ask a lot of questions. Ask as many questions as necessary. I never got to the point of asking the person enough questions to know for sure whether it was my grandson or not. I didn't have to. He hung up before I ever got to that. But it's a good one. It's very effective, and it's costing a lot of people a lot of money, and it's targeting grandparents specifically. So if you're an older, loving grandparent and you get such a call, you've been warned. I was amazed.